Mexifornia, like Mexico and California together, Mexifornia. He was talking about how the Democrats are going to use illegal immigration to take over the United States of America. And Dick Lamb was talking about, he was introducing Victor David Hanson, and he gave this talk on if he had a plan to destroy America, this is what he'd do. And you can hear it here.
Who really, really gets it. Again, a liberal Democrat. And he calls it my plan to destroy America. My plan to destroy America. And a hat tip to our partners at FAIR who provided this to me, and this has never been played before. Cut one, go.
I would like to share with you my plan to destroy America. If you think, and some do, that America is too smug, too rich, too self-satisfied, not diverse enough, too white bread, I have this plan. Toynbee, said that all great nations rise and they all fall. And he said, and the autopsy of history is all great nations commit suicide. So here's my plan, 8 parts. Number 1, I'd make it a bilingual, bicultural country. History shows us that no bilingual, bicultural country lives at peace with itself. There's not one, I believe, that doesn't exist with an incredible amount of tension and conflict, if not civil war. My second part of my plan would be to invent something called multiculturalism. This would be 2 parts. Number 1, I would say that all cultures are created equal. It would make no difference and make it impossible to talk about such things as culture. And the second one is that I would really try very hard to make people continue their cultural identity. I would replace the melting pot with the salad bowl. My third part of my plan would be to make the fastest growing demographic group in that country the least educated. I would add a second underclass to the first underclass, unassimilated, undereducated, antagonistic, and then I'd have 50% of them drop out of school, not graduate from high school. The fourth part of my plan would be to get the big foundations to fund, and big business to fund these efforts with lots of money. I would invest in ethnic identity and victimology. I would get them to think about their lack of success was only the fault of the majority. I would start a grievance industry. The fifth part of my plan is I would develop dual citizenship. I would promise people actually divided loyalties, allow them to vote for both Vicente Fox and George Bush. The sixth part, and this is important, I would place all of these subjects off limits. I would make it taboo to talk about, actually, or criticize this whole thing. I would make it come up with a word like heretic used to be 200 years ago. Let's say we'd call it racist. And I would try to accuse anybody of this that would object to my ideas. My seventh part, then, I would make it impossible to enforce our immigration laws. I would develop a mantra, let's call it this, that because immigration has been good in the past for America, it will continue to be good in the future. My eighth and last part, and it's important, is I would censor this book. This man is dangerous. He's on to my plan. Don't read this book.
And he's pointing to our friend Victor Davis Hanson in his book, Mexifornia, where he lays out the case. This is 10 and a half years ago, where he gave this speech. And he was right on, wasn't he?
Now, isn't that interesting? Now, understand this is 2003, October 2003. And he puts it down. And now you're looking at this about 25 years later, and you see the plan is in full effect from the Democratic Party. What did he say? The first thing he'd do was bilingual and bicultural, have a bilingual or bicultural country, because they'll start a civil war. And I can remember when we was telling them that we need to make English the national language, that we don't need to have two languages here in the United States of America. For the first 200 years of this country, if you came over here, you were going to assimilate into America. Italians had to learn English. Spanish had to learn English. Germans had to learn English. You had to learn it. If not, you were going to be a second-class citizen. Now they're trying to make America not only bilingual, but bicultural. So you have other people coming here waving their national flags in our country. A nation has to have a unique identity. If you want to come here, you're saying, I want to become part of your nation. If you come in as a diplomat or if you come in on a visa, that's different. You come and you're staying for a while, you're going back. But if you're coming here to stay, you're supposed to assimilate. But he says, no. You want to start celebrating a country that's bilingual and bicultural. He said, and then you want to have multiculturalism. America used to be a melting pot, and now they want to call it a tossed salad. Everybody got their little parts. What does that cause? Division, anger, hatred.